All right, for today, we're going to look at prisms, but the base is going to be pentagonal or hexagonal. What that means is that the base is either going to have 5 or 6 sides. Now, I know we saw areas of polygons last week, right? Area of polygons, we broke it down as triangles. So let's take a look. The base in this case is going to be a hexagon, right? It has 6 sides, a regular hexagon. Let me highlight it. You guys can see there's one at the bottom, which is the one I highlighted, and there's one on the top. Now, notice on the top, these little slashes, what that means is that all the sides are equal. So I'm gonna say this side right here is 10. Okay, so we learned this week that prisms are basically two bases and a bunch of rectangles in the center. The base is a hexagon, so let me draw a figure with 6 sides. I'm the worst artist you've ever met, so it doesn't have to be that great. Now, I remember for polygons, right, hexagons and pentagons, right, 6 or 5 sides, I came and I looked for a triangle, included the 90-degree corner. I'm just looking at that triangle. The 90-degree corner made by the measurements 10 and 8.7. So I remember that last week when we were dealing with polygons, I said, get the area of that triangle first. So I'm gonna go 10 times 8.7 divided by 2. Let me put parentheses. That's just that one triangle, right? 10 times 8.7 divided by 2. Whatever we get for that triangle, I'm going to multiply this by 6. And the reason is because there's 6 sides on my polygon, so I'm going to divide it by 6. If there were 5 sides, I will multiply by 5. All right, so 10 times 8.7 divided by 2 times 6, I get that my area of my polygon is 261. Each of my bases is 261. All right, now the base has 6 sides. So guess what? 6 rectangles in the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I need to know each measurement outside of my polygon. The nice thing is that one of them is 10 and they're all the same. So I'm gonna say 10 for each side. The number that has nothing to do with the base is 4. So that's the height of my solid. I'm gonna go 4 times each side. So I'm gonna go 4 times 10 for each of my sides. Now let me add all this thing up. Now let me give you guys a shortcut. When you're gonna do 40 plus 40, or when you're adding 40 many times, when you're adding the same number multiple times, in this case, I'm just gonna go 40 times 6. Right? 40 times 6 is basically 40 6 times. So, all right, 40 times 6 is 240. That's basically the basis. I mean the walls at the side. So 240 plus 261 plus 261. Again, I'm just adding everything. And my result happens to be 262. Round your answer to 1 decimal place if necessary. All right, let's take a look at question number 25. Let me identify the base. It's right here. It has 5 sides, so I'm gonna do a pentagon on top and a pentagon at the bottom. And I know for pentagons, I'm always looking for a triangle. Here's my triangle. Let me highlight it. For that triangle, I'm going to multiply the two numbers that make the 90-degree corner. I know each measurement outside of my polygon is 8. So for that triangle, I'm going to go 8 times 5.5 divided by 2. That is just the yellow triangle. Whatever I get from my yellow triangle, I'm gonna multiply this by 5. There are 5 sides of the polygon. So let me go 8 times 5.5 divided by 2 times 5. My polygon in this case happens to be 110. Each of them. Now the base has 5 sides. So in the centered, I'm gonna have 5 rectangles. If this was a room, I'm gonna have 5 walls. Now, each measurement outside of my polygon is 8. In my figure, the number that has nothing to do with the base is 7. So let me go 7 times 8 for each of my rectangles. So in this case, I get 56 for each of my rectangles. All right, so let me add everything. I have 56 5 times plus 110 plus 110. My result happens to be 500. Okay, let's take a look at number 26. Let me identify the base. For today, the bases are either 5 sides or 6 sides. Pentagonal or hexagonal. Now, 5 sides, all right, the base, I'm just gonna draw my base on the top, and I have a base at the bottom. For prism, there's always 2 bases and a bunch of rectangles. So for the base, I'm gonna identify a triangle. Each measurement outside is 8. Now that triangle, let me highlight this triangle. For me to get the area of that triangle, I will go 8 times 5.5 divided by 2. Whatever I get for that triangle, I'm gonna multiply this by 5. There are 5 sides of my polygon, so by 5. So I'm gonna go 8 times 5.5 divided by 2 times 5. That gives me 110. My polygon has 5 sides, so I have 5 rectangles in the center. Each of the sides outside of my polygon is 8. The number that has nothing to do with my base is 9. So I'm gonna go 9 times 8 for each of these walls, each of these rectangles. Now just add everything. I have 72 5 times plus 110 plus 110, and that gives me 580. Don't forget to round to 1 decimal place if necessary. Now let's take a look at number 27. Let me identify the base. This case has 6 sides. So let me draw my 2 bases here. In here, let me identify a triangle. Each measurement outside of my polygon is 7. Now for that triangle, I will go 7 times 6.1 divided by 2. Just the one triangle. Whatever I get for the triangle, I'm going to multiply by 6 because the polygon has 6 sides. So 7 times 6.1 divided by 2 times 6, I get 128.1. Some cases for the base, you guys will get 2 decimal places. Don't round it up yet because this is work. We're going to round up the answer, not the work. So if you get 2 decimal places for the base, don't round, keep it. All right, the base has 6 sides. So I have 6 rectangles in the center. Each measurement outside of my polygon is 7. The number has nothing to do with my polygons, it's 6. So that's the height of the prism. I'm gonna go 6 times 7 for each of my rectangles. Now add everything. I have 42 6 times plus 128.1 plus 128.1. My answer in this case happens to be 508.2.